Do you set yourself goals? Career goals, personal goals, fitness goals? You probably should. What's happening, people? My name is Robbie, and since it's January, I think it's only fitting that we talk about goals and what goals we should be setting this year. Like 90% of videos on YouTube at the minute. As mentioned in the previous video, I'm filming this like immediately after. So I know this mess is still there. I know I said I was going to clean it or tidy it. I'm going to tidy it, but I've literally just finished filming the last video. So I'm sorry if you feel tricked, but I'm filming 2 videos back to back. That's called productivity. Anyway, I think setting goals for the year is very important. The same way that setting quarterly goals, weekly goals, even daily goals is just as important, I think. The reason that I'm making this video is accountability. If I make a video listing off what goals I have for this year and I post it publicly on YouTube, there's now, I don't know, 200 or 300 people that might watch this video, maybe more, hopefully. A handful of people will have seen it, and now they can hold me accountable if I don't make the goals. This puts a bit of pressure on me to actually achieve these goals this year. But before I begin with the goals for 2022, I thought I should maybe go over the goals that I had set for 2021 and if I had achieved them or not. And make sure to comment below, let me know what your goals are for this year and what your goals were for last year and how you done on them. So last year I set myself 9 goals, which was probably a bit ambitious. Some were knocked out of the park, some were disastrous and completely not achieved. But the whole point in this video is accountability. So I'll tell you the goals that I set, I'll tell you how I performed on them, regardless if I done well or not. So I'll just get straight into it. The first goal that I set was a target for my net worth. I wanted to increase my net worth by £73,000 last year. I know 73,000 might seem like a bit of a random number, but adding 73,000 would have brought my net worth to a nice round number, which I won't be disclosing today. So I didn't achieve this goal, but I made a dent in it, which is good, I suppose. The target was an increase of £73,000, and the actual increase was 26,000. So I achieved about 34% of the target, 35% of that target. Now I know that's like not a good thing because I didn't achieve the target, but I am a big believer in as long as my net worth hasn't dropped in a year, I'm still happy. If my net worth is slowly but surely creeping up, that's fine. So 26k, I'm still happy with that. I would have been more happy with 73 though. Goal number 2 was to get my investment accounts. That includes my Vanguard account, my Coinbase, the crypto, the stocks and shares, all of these online accounts up to £60,000. This is of course different to my net worth, which includes things like whiskey that I have, equity in property, cash in a bank. This goal is just for investment accounts. So this is one of the targets that was not only achieved but surpassed. The target was to get to £60,000, and if you've watched any of my recent portfolio updates, including the one I posted last week, you'll know that the achieved number was £83,780. So that's 177% of the target. Is that right? Doesn't sound right. I might have done my maths wrong there. Either way, I hit the target. I'll maybe need to set the target slightly higher for this year. Goal number 3 was another financial goal. That was to purchase 3 rental properties in 2021. Now the fact that you're watching this video tells me that you're interested somewhat in finance, business, or you know me personally and you're just curious about what videos I'm posting. You're probably aware that the property market has been a bit crazy for the past 2 years. In my area, most properties have been going to closing dates, selling above home report, being snapped up on the day that they go live before you even get a chance to view it. But I'll also be honest and try and hold myself accountable here. I never went and viewed nearly enough properties to achieve this goal of 3 properties. I don't know how many properties I viewed last year, but nowhere near enough. So the target was 3 rental properties and I bought 0. Didn't buy a single one. So that's a big fat L for that one. 0% completion. Goal number 4 was to buy a new house. That was not a rental property, that was for me, Bryony and Frankie to live in. And if you follow me on Instagram, which is just at Robbie Corbett _, or you've watched my other videos on YouTube, you'll know that I achieved this goal. We bought a nice 3-bedroom new build and we absolutely love it. I mean, we bought it in October and the mess, I'm really bad. The rest of the house, I promise, the rest of the house is a lot more tidy than this room. Goals number 5 and 6 were both absolutely terrible. In 2020, I decided that I wanted to start running more regularly. I think it was just because the gyms were closed. I like going to the gym, I hate running. I hate cardio in general. But in 2020 I thought, right, this is the year that I get fit and start doing more cardio. It didn't last very long, but in the month of November in 2020 I ran every single day, which was good. So for 2021 I thought, right, I'm going to set a good running goal. The first goal was to run 10 kilometers a week. Now that doesn't mean run a 10k a week, that just means run total 10 kilometers a week. That could be 5 2-kilometer runs, it could be 2 5Ks, it could be whatever denomination of runs you want. This lasted such a short period of time that I didn't even track it, so a big L on that one as well. According to my notes, I did 0 runs. I know I did a handful of runs, but they were so few and far between that I didn't even note them down, so we'll just call that 0% on that target as well. The other goal is even more laughable once you hear that. The other goal, I wanted to run a half marathon. I went on about 7 runs last year. I wanted to run a half marathon. I can't even run the length of myself. Was I drunk when I set that target? Possibly. So obviously I was miles off that target, or 13.1 miles off it, to be precise. Did you get it? Half marathon, 13.1 miles. So anyway, disaster. Target number 7 was one I was actually pretty confident with, and that was read 40 books in 2021. I was so convinced I would get this. I'm an avid reader. I've literally got books everywhere. Like, there's so many books in this bookshelf right next to the camera. But life just kind of got in the way. I don't really have a reason for it, just busy. When I did get some time to myself, I just didn't really want to sit down and read that many books. I would rather play the PlayStation or watch Netflix or do anything really other than reading books. I just couldn't be bothered. Considering I read 30 books in 2020, pretty disappointed with 24 in 2021, but these things happen. 24 books, still decent I suppose when I actually think about it. 2 books a month. A lot of people I know don't read any books. Not that that's a bad thing, that's each to their own, but I would like to read more books. I'd like to hit that target this year. Goal number 8 is a TikTok goal. So I wanted to hit 10,000 followers on TikTok, which I thought was pretty unlikely. I started my TikTok account, I think it was December or November of 2020, and at the beginning of 2021 I think I maybe had 1,000 followers. Probably not, probably about 500 followers in January 2021. I seen someone make a TikTok about how they wanted to hit 50,000 followers that year, and then they hit it, and I was like, oh my god, how have they done that? So I thought I'd set myself a lofty goal of 10,000. Thankfully, I did hit this goal. I hit 18,900 followers on TikTok. I was very surprised by this, I'll be honest. I'm still not sure why 19,000 people follow me on TikTok, but I'm happy to have every single one of them, even the ones who laugh at me for going bald or are just there to leave nasty comments. I'm happy to have them all. And last but not least was a YouTube target. So I started my YouTube channel in January 2021. So I set a target of hitting 1,000 subscribers. It just seemed like a logical amount to aim for. And as you'll see from looking at my channel just now, I didn't achieve this goal. I only managed to hit 490 subscribers. But I'm not going to let that discourage me. I am enjoying making the YouTube videos. It's a nice hobby. I feel more productive making YouTube videos than just sitting playing Call of Duty because the new one is terrible. I like making these videos hopefully as much as you enjoy watching them, so I will continue to do so. So of last year's 9 goals that I set, I only achieved 3, which is a disappointing year on paper, but in reality I bought a new house with my partner, I got engaged, my net worth went up, which is a good thing. All in all, it was a good year. Much better than 2020. I don't think anyone had a good 2020, so it was definitely an improvement. But in terms of goals and targets, I'm hoping and I feel like this year is going to be much better. So here are my goals for 2022. Most are in the same vein as 2021, which is quite handy. Goal number 1, I want to add £100,000 to my net worth. Now I know last year I wanted 73,000 and I only achieved 26,000. So why am I looking to add 100,000 when I never even made half of last year's target? I have a few ideas on how this might work, ways that I could potentially add 100,000 to my net worth by the end of this year. I won't go into too much detail, I don't want to give anything away, but watch this space, might happen. Number 2 is I'd like to get my investment accounts to £110,000. In total, they're sitting at around 83,000-ish, so I need to add around 27,000 to this. A good crypto bull run would be handy, because that could easily achieve that target just through crypto. So that'd be nice, but we'll see what happens. Number 3, same as last year, but this time I'm going to achieve it. 3 new investment properties. So obviously this was the goal last year, but I didn't focus on it enough whatsoever. I came away with 0, so I will be putting a lot more focus into this year. I've already arranged viewings for 2 properties this year. We're on the 11th of January. I've arranged viewings for 2 properties so far. I haven't viewed them yet, but things are still going to closing dates and being snapped up for over home report and things like that. I don't really want to pay over home report for something if I can help it. I'm feeling confident about adding 3 properties to the portfolio this year. So this goal can either be buy to let properties, a property to be let on Airbnb, like a serviced accommodation, student accommodation, a HMO, commercial property, any property project that can generate cash flow. And of course, if I can purchase 3 properties and add 27,000 to my investment portfolio, that will definitely contribute towards adding £100,000 to my net worth. Goal number 4 is the same as last year's goal as well, read 40 books. So I know I'm capable of this one. I put quite a high value in reading books. I think it's quite important, particularly non-fiction books. If it wasn't for reading the odd non-fiction book, I'd have never taken an interest in investing in the first place. So I would like to prioritise a bit more time for reading books and a little bit less time in watching Netflix, playing the PlayStation, just sitting on my phone all night, doing stuff that I'm not particularly interested in. So far, I've made a good start. I'm currently halfway through 4 books all at once because I didn't want to get bored of just one, so I started 4 all at the same time. So we're on track, which is good. Goal number 5 might be a bit of a stretch, but I'd like to hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. 100,000 people is a lot of people. If I can get to 100,000 followers on TikTok, I will have more followers than the amount of people that live in my hometown. But to help me get there, I have set a smaller goal, which is post at least 1 TikTok every single day this year. Hopefully, if I post at least 1 a day, every now and again, 1 will bang and get good views and gain some new followers. We're just going to have to wait and see. Goal number 6 is YouTube related. So I'm aiming for 2,000 subscribers this year. I only got to 500 last year, but I think now that I have a base to go on from 500, 2,000 is definitely doable, as long as I'm consistent and I make good videos. That's up for debate. If this is a good video, I don't know. You tell me. Leave a comment, let me know, is this a good video or is it shit? The 7th goal is sort of fitness related. I want to hit £190. I track my weight in pounds. I know that's more of an American thing. I don't really know why I started doing it, but it's how I've done it for years. So it's just how I'm going to continue to do it. I'm not really a fat guy as such. There are larger people than me and also smaller people than me. I think I'm probably about average for my height. I'm 6'2". I could lose a few pounds though, especially considering I do have a wedding to get in shape for. So £190 is the target for this year. I'd like to get below £190, but if I can get to £190, I'll be happy. And last but not least, my newest project that I haven't really said anything about on YouTube or TikTok, I don't think, podcast. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen a story I posted a few months ago posting that I bought this microphone and there's another one somewhere in this tip of a room. And I mentioned that I wanted to start a podcast. As is the case with life, things got in the way. But I am looking to start a podcast this year, interviewing various business people, entrepreneurs, content creators, and anyone else of interest really. My target is to release 25 episodes this year. No targets for a specific amount of downloads, plays, views, nothing like that. Just 25 episodes this year and see how things go. Fingers crossed this would be of interest to people. I have 1 guest lined up so far, but I'm a firm believer that if something's worth trying, you should give it enough time to see if it actually works. So I'm going to try and do it for the whole year, the same way I did with YouTube and TikTok last year. In future, I will make a video formally announcing the podcast. Once I've filmed, edited and uploaded the podcast, I'll make a video on this channel letting everyone know where to find it, but you'll just need to wait on that. So that's all 8 of my goals for 2022. Ideally, I'll have them all ticked off by New Year, but only time will tell. Let me know in the comments if you've set any goals for yourself this year. Let me know what the goals are. I'd love to hear what kind of things people are aiming for. And thanks as always for watching. I'll see you next week. Take it easy.